Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We are all George. Today we're feeling pretty good because Bitcoin is up, Ethereum is up, altcoins are up. Today is definitely a rally day. So I know a lot of you guys are excited. Today I want to cover Bitcoin, of course, and also talk about Ethereum because I believe it's a sleeping giant. There's some big news about Ethereum, and I feel like recently a lot of people been ignoring Ethereum, been looking at some of these other blockchains, and although that's not a bad idea, Ethereum is not going away anytime soon, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you why, as big as it is, it's still a sleeping giant. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. 2 streams every day, 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, although sometimes I'm a bit late on the weekends. I hope you guys understand that. But here we go. So those of you guys that's already in the chat, welcome, and let's do this. Let me change my screen. All right, so let's start out with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is right under $51,000, $50,800. And, I know a lot of people keep talking about, trying to break above 52. But what I'm seeing right now is Bitcoin is held below 51, and we need to break above 51. So going back here about, mid-February, you could see that Bitcoin utilizes 51,000 as pretty good support. 1, 2, 3 times, rally up to 58,000, and then since then it's been a resistance. I mean, many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6, 7, 8, 9, and then now like 10, 11, 12, right? So 51,000 seems to be this upper resistance that Bitcoin needs to break. But since yesterday, I've been talking about how the stimulus package, the relief package, has been approved. So I do believe today, this week, we're going to see some pretty good gains with a broader market. And usually when we see that, we see good gains with Bitcoin and crypto as well. And that's why we're seeing a pretty good pump today. If you look at Bitcoin just not too long ago, basically a day ago, it bottomed to about 47,000. Since then, it's up about $4,000 from there. But we know that Bitcoin is doing its thing. It tends to hover for a while, a little bit, and then it makes the next leg up, right? And one thing I did mention yesterday, many times, especially at night, for those of you guys that tuned in, is that the outflow for Bitcoin from F2 pool is very, 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 very small. And that's a very good thing. Rocket, appreciate that. So this is updated F2 pool outflow. And you could see since yesterday, the 5th and the 6th, look at the difference here. Look at the outflow. It is absolutely tiny compared to the outflow from the 2nd and the 4th. Compared to the February 26th, I mean, it is now really, really, really tiny. So this also helps. Seems like that outflow, that selling pressure has died down in a big way, So this combined with the stimulus, among other things, could mean a big rally, this next leg up that I've been talking about for a while. So if you look at this is an hourly chart going back to the 5th. And you could see that, yeah, there were times where like this, you could see a big clump of outflow. And then that's when Bitcoin went from a temporary top of 47,000 down to about 44. Then when it rallied from 44 all the way to 58, you could see that the outflow there was still outflow, but pretty kept to a minimum, right? So you could see, especially during these days where the outflow was just really, really tiny. And then, when Bitcoin fell down to 58,000 and hovered down to 43,000, you can see the outflow, the clumps is pretty massive again, right? But look at it. Look at this, starting from the 46,000 mark, 47,000 mark, going up to 50, you can see the outflow has decreased tremendously, right? So if this continues, that means we can be ready for this next leg up from here. That could carry Bitcoin all the way up to $90,000, as high as $90,000. So I think this is very positive. This is very, very positive. So this with the stimulus package, and we got a lot more buying. This is going to drive Bitcoin a lot higher. And when Bitcoin goes a lot higher, guess what? The entire market goes higher. And as you can see today, a pretty good rally day, right? Most altcoins are up. Some that were up, some that were down, pretty tremendously. They're up in a big way. DeFi coins are catching back up. NFT coins are really, really, really hot right now. They're coming back up, right? So overall, the market is doing well, climbing near 1.6 trillion again. And we'll see. I think this week could be tremendous, tremendous. All right. So now let me talk about the main topic is Ethereum, why I think it's a sleeping giant. It's still a sleeping giant, even though it is at $192 billion. So that seems silly. That seems silly. Futsal, it ends whenever someone accepts it. There's like a accept thing, and I didn't accept it yet. I want to see how high I can go. Claudio, thank you. But even as big as Ethereum is at 192, and it's been up pretty substantially the last 7 days, 23%. You know what? A lot of people I know, is concerned about how they go scale, congestion and stuff like that. So a lot of people have been getting off the Ethereum bandwagon and jumping into coins like, Binance Coin, which is now number 3 again, Cardano, Polkadot, Elrond, Solano. There are all these other promising chains, right? But here's the thing. You simply can't give up on Ethereum yet. And I think it's going to go far. This year, Bitcoin, if it's going to go up 10x, Ethereum will go up at least that, if not more. So that means Ethereum could end the year between 16,000 to 20,000 or maybe even higher than that. So there's definitely a lot of room to grow. And why do I think that? Well, because Bitcoin is going to go 10x. That's what I think. Obviously, if Bitcoin goes higher than that, it's going to be even higher, right? So Bitcoin, I think, is on track to replace gold. So that's why Ethereum and others will at least keep up, if not go more. So let me show you this big headline that came out today, and I think this is enormous. So there's a software firm out of Hong Kong that just declared publicly that they bought $22 million worth of Ether and about $18 million worth of Bitcoin for its reserve. So this is big both ways. First of all, let me move my camera here. First of all, this is the very first case where like a public trade company declared that they're buying Ether or ETH for their reserve. We have heard of companies do that with Bitcoin in mass amounts, but not Ethereum. So this seems to be a new trend. What's also very unique about this is this company bought it on the spot market. They said on the open market. So I'm interpreting that as they actually went on exchanges and bought this much. They didn't actually go through the OTC desk. So this could be the reason why Ethereum recently pumped up. It started pumping up from a few days ago, right? Bitcoin had a little bump too. So this could be a small reason why that happened. And I love to see more companies do that in the future, because when all these other big giants that are buying Bitcoin through OTC market, not really affecting the price, and that's on purpose. But if they buy it on the open market, it's going to cause a huge rally. It'll be good for us holders, but not so good for people buying it, but still. But I think this is a new trend that institutions and public trade companies now, they're getting involved with Ether because they see it as the big dog. I mentioned that Bitcoin is the big dog for store of value, but Ether is still the big dog when it comes to network protocols, blockchains. So I do think a lot of companies are putting faith in Ether because they see it as a different thing. Ether and Bitcoin do not compete with each other, though newcomers will say that everything competes with Bitcoin, but really they don't. That's like saying Coca-Cola competes with Tesla. They're really different. They're really different. The only similarity is they're both crypto, but one is deflationary, one's inflationary, one is used for utility, and one is used for store value, and they're just really, really different. So I do think that a lot more of this type of news will be announced in the future, that you're going to have companies buy both Ether and Bitcoin for their reserves. So that is pretty big. So that's number one, but that's not the only reason. Second reason is Grayscale. Grayscale, remember, their trust. Not only do they have a Bitcoin trust, but they also have an Ethereum trust. And it has ballooned up to about 3.17, 3.2 million Ethers or ETH held in their trust. And with these trusts, if you understand them, basically once they buy, they never sell it. It just stays there forever. So if you think about it, this is about 3.2 million Ether that just gets locked up forever. And of course, they're selling the shares, but this shows you there is institutional interest, right? They would not be buying this much without institutional interest. So if you calculate a price, it's over $5 billion. So this is also pretty big. This has been ongoing for a while, but you could see the number that they've been holding obviously has gone up quite a bit, even within the last 6 months, right? From about 2 billion all the way up, 2.5 billion all the way up to where it is, 3.2 billion at this time. So this also definitely helps, shows that there is interest in Ethereum among institutional investors. All right, so that's another thing. And then if you look at this, Ethereum 2.0, this beacon chain that was launched, right? This is what Vitalik and team are working on. They want to get this out. And basically, this will make Ethereum a proof of stake blockchain. Also, they can introduce sharding and make it much faster. And they launched this chain, so there's like 2 chains going on right now. And if you look at this, about 3.4 million Ethers have already been locked in. So this is on top of the 3.2 locked in Grayscale's Ethereum trust. So there's 3.4 million locked in the beacon chain, and you can't withdraw this. A lot of people didn't know, but once you put it into the beacon chain, you can't withdraw it until it's done. So you may have to wait a year or so. But if you do the math, that's close. That's close to 7 million Ethers that's just locked away right now that can't be released for quite some time. So that's pretty amazing too. So that if you look at that out of the overall circulating supply, that's about 2%-ish or so. But you know what? That makes a big difference. That makes a big difference. And plus, you have exchanges also that allow you to stake ETH in, just for staking purposes. And also there's custodian services and stuff like that. There's a lot out there that stakes Ethereum. So that also helps quite a bit. All right. Now, the other big thing is this, and I've been talking about this for a while. Not actually for a while, for a few days. This new EIP 1559 that's greenlit for July. This is also very, very big. Now, this is not set in stone. Vitalik said that he's going to greenlight this in a fork that's coming in July, but if it's approved, because they have to get 51% of the miners to approve this, but I'm sure Vitalik will probably get it done. But if approved, this will definitely set a limit to how high gas fees could be. It'll be a lot more predictable for dApp makers, which they would love. And also, it would turn Ethereum into deflationary, sort of. Not entirely. It's still going to be inflationary because you still need to have enough out there to incentivize the stakers in the future. But based on congestion, they'll be able to utilize how much gas fees that comes into the network and utilize that to token burn. So that will kind of counteract with the inflationary nature of Ethereum. So that is also huge. Now, this is not set in stone, but I think Vitalik has enough support behind him where he could convert a lot of miners to do this. So that is why. I mean, this could be absolutely huge. Out of all the proof of stake coins out there, almost all of them are inflationary by nature because you have to incentivize the stakers somehow. But this could turn Ethereum into a deflationary blockchain, which will also help it very big in the future. Deflationary, in case you don't know, meaning the token supply decreases. And of course, when you have something that decreases supply while demand goes up, you get the picture, right? Price goes up. So that's also very, very positive. And lastly, I want to talk about congestion and gas fees. Because right now, today is a pretty good day, but not so good. If you look at Ethereum's their gas tracker right now, to make any kind of ERC20 transfer is about $20. To do a Uniswap swap, about $64. Add a remove from liquidity pool, about $56. So those are not optimal. right? Obviously, we want to see that as low as possible, but this isn't as bad as some of the really congested times. So I know this is the biggest concern right now. However, let's not forget that almost all the DeFi projects, almost all the NFT projects are residing on Ethereum right now. All right. So if you look at a number of Dapps that is running on Ethereum versus all other chains, it is leading by far, not even close. Even the newer ones for NFT that is very popular now, like Rarible or OpenSea, they're on Ethereum. And same thing with all these other DeFi plays and just many other dApps out there. Now, you may be thinking, well, why is that good when gas fees are so high? Well, the good thing is most of these projects are now utilizing a layer 2 solution, or they are coming out with some form of internal like layer 2, or they're utilizing some kind of hybrid setup with different chains. So that essentially will help with the congestion. Not fully until Ethereum 2.0 comes out, but some of the biggest players out there, like DeFi players, they all announce that they're going to utilize some kind of new internal L2 solution or move to L2 solution that is still ETH compatible, right? That's still Ethereum compatible, and they're all still utilizing the Ethereum virtual machine. So even though they may be off to a layer 2 solution with a new blockchain, but they're all still Ethereum compatible. They haven't transisted off. Even projects that's on Binance Smart Chain, which you may be thinking, well, then that's off Ethereum completely, right? No. Binance Smart Chain utilizes the Ethereum virtual machine, so that dApps that move over still utilize Ethereum in some way, so they're not off completely. So Ethereum, in terms of their network effect, is so much larger than everyone else, so that even though there's congestion, most of these guys are trying to figure out, they really don't want to move off of Ethereum if they don't have to. So they may be utilizing some service, but still, ultimately, they're still compatible or utilizing Ethereum in some way. And a lot of them are still utilizing ERC20 tokens, even though they have moved off or transitioned to another blockchain. So that is also positive, right? So that's why I think it's greatly exaggerated right now in terms of Ethereum really just dying because of congestion, even though it is an issue. The number of dApps out there is like, it's not even close. It's not even close. If you look at all these other projects, you add them all together, it's probably 1/10 of what Ethereum has. That's if you add all of them together. It's probably even worse than that, but still, that kind of shows you. So that is the reason why I think Ethereum is very, 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 I think it's very overlooked right now. I think a lot of people are looking at smaller blockchains that have a huge potential, which is true. You shouldn't ignore them because a lot of them have been growing by leaps and bounds. But I think Ethereum is a sleeping giant. You don't want to overlook it and it is a sleeping giant. You don't want to overlook it because I do think they still have a lot of potential to grow. All right. So despite the fact that it is at 1,600, almost 1,700 now, I think it could definitely break back to its previous high, like 1,900, and it could definitely go much higher than that. All right, so that's Ethereum in a nutshell. And speaking of Ethereum, I have my NFT on Valuables, and I copied Jack. He's fetching $2.5 million. Me, not so much, but I do see a bidding war on here. So there's a bidding war between two people. So it's now at $35. So I want to thank people that are actually trying to support me with this, trying to utilize funds for a Vegas party later this year. That's not cheap at all. Trying to get something done at Caesar's Palace, and it is a substantial amount. So hopefully I can get that going later this year. All right, so that's pretty much it. Before I do Q&A, I do have a new sponsor, Essentia. And some of you guys have heard of this project before. I know I've seen this project because people have asked me about it. And they're like an all-in-one financial dApp, but they're really beyond that. But that's what they're concentrating right now. They have a brand new blockchain. They raised a significant amount of money in 2018. They actually raised $25.5 million. And that was June of 2018. That was when things were really, really, really low. So that's actually really impressive that they actually raised that much during like crypto winter. But yeah, they're basically they're a financial play. So they have an app, they have a desktop app, and you could buy, you could sell, you could trade, you could stake, and also run your own master node. So that's pretty different now these days. Normally, these new style projects, they're all about just staking, utilizing a your own node, but you can run a master node and you can run a super master node, which gives you insane returns. But you could also stake too. You could add to a liquidity pool, and then you could stake your tokens and earn passive income. So they give you pretty much a lot of ways to make money. So you could run a master node and receive about 25% of total block rewards. Super nodes, but that's only reserved for pre-sale contributors, where you can make 75% of the total block rewards. That's a lot. Here's some calculators in terms of how much you could expect to make. This is their brand new blockchain. They are utilizing their own, so they're not utilizing someone else. And they are very proud of the fact that they are a cross-chain blockchain. There's interoperability built in so that they're able to talk to many blockchains. And here's some services. You could also lend, you could borrow, you could farm, you could stake, pretty much everything. Yeah, and they are integrated right now with 750 currencies. So because of that interoperability that they have, they're able to basically trade a lot of currencies out there, which is pretty good. All right, so last few things about them is if you look at their masternode guide, there's a lot of things going on, but you could see, in terms of annual masternode, I used to cover energy a lot, and they used to talk about how they provided the most rewards per year at 47%. ESS is now at 164%. Now, of course, that fluctuates, but yeah, they're pretty proud of it. And this guide is actually pretty easy. They have done a partnership with Swipe recently to provide more use cases for data ownership. So that's pretty good. And something else that's not out, but they released to me, is that right now, if you look at the exchanges, they are on Bitfinex, but they will be listed on KuCoin soon. So that is something that they have announced to me that will happen in the future. And you guys know I'm a big fan of KuCoin. So this could be coming out very, very shortly on KuCoin. And right now, they're relatively low market cap project. All right. So that's Essentia in a nutshell. If you guys are interested, I'm going to have all the links and everything in the description of this video. All right. That is it. Let's do some good old Q&A. I did miss some super chats. Let me see here. Let me go back. Kelly Matthew, I know it's small, but can you look at Loopring and an L2 solution for E? Do you think Loopring is an old project? They're L2 mainly for DEXs. So they're not really, no DApp is really utilizing them for L2. Maybe DEXs will, but right now I don't hear anyone utilizing it. Loopring. A lot of them are looking at Phantom. They have transitioned to Phantom. Matic is another one, but Loopring not so much. They do have their own DEX though, so if that gets big, that could help them. Nicole asked about Cedo. Well, I have no idea what Cedo. Yeah, I don't even know what Cedo is, Nicole. Bob, is that you? Are you the one that the offer for my NFT? Cody and what's the last one? DOS. DOS is an old one. I remember that one. Cody, I still don't remember what Cody is. Enterprise grade fintech platform. Okay. So they're in a DeFi space. Or financial space, I should say. Yeah, I've looked at this before. Um, they want to turn themselves into like the next PayPal, a decentralized PayPal, kind of. Um, I haven't done enough research on Cody to say whether or not they're good or bad. But, you know, they're doing well. 208 million. Their circulating supply about 33%, which isn't too bad. They are on Binance and KuCoin, so that's good. This is one of the projects I've been meaning to look at, but I haven't yet. So bear with me. I have been looking at a lot of projects. There's a lot of small mid caps that are doing fantastic though. DOS Network, yeah, I remember this one. They were promising, you know, 1 million transactions per second or something before, and people just don't. Oh, did they change to an Oracle service? Yeah, in terms of oracles, no. Nope. If you want oracles, look at Chainlink. Chainlink only. Make upside down George NFT. Phil from my Patreon group, he's been saying that forever. He actually created one, especially with the one with me wearing a chef hat. Chef Raph, how you know last night you say tomorrow alts will pump? Yeah, of course. If Bitcoin is going to have a good day, then altcoins will pump. But usually, you know, altcoins pump faster than Bitcoin. So, you know, Bitcoin's up 6%, which is pretty good today. A lot of these altcoins, the big caps, not everyone has outperformed Bitcoin, but a lot of the mid caps, you know, they're double digits today, right? VeChain, 12% today. I'm really glad to see VeChain get some traction. So it's starting to come up. So better watch out. VeChain could be, you know, on a real uptrend soon. So I'm really glad to see that. And yeah, if you look at the overall market, today's pretty good. Pretty good overall. Can't complain. Definitely can't complain. This is the advantage of dollar cost averaging. You know, it's like you have up and downs. But then, you know, if you take advantage and you hodl, it comes right back up, and then you're better for it because now you have dollar cost average lower, and now your average price is lower, so you actually make more when you get back. I don't like Genesis Vision. They're an old project. I never liked them. I do like Elron. I don't think they're sleeping giant because they've already gone up so much. But they're in the top. They're top 6, I would say, in terms of blockchains. You know, top 7 because I sometimes forget to include Ethereum. But yeah, outside of Ethereum, Binance Chain, Cardano, and Polkadot, you have Elron, Solana, and what's the other one? Cosmos. But even outside of them, there's a lot that's up and coming too. You know, VeChain is definitely one. You know, Tezos is one, but it's been getting weaker as of late. You know, Crypto.com is going to come out there one, but that's just DeFi focused. Theta is really in there too, but Theta is more like streaming service, but they're really getting into everything. Theta is already in NFTs. They're into decentralized streaming and they're doing other stuff too. So they're doing a lot of stuff. BAT is coming up too. So BAT is coming out their own DEX, layer 2 solution. So I think that's going to help BAT in a big way. Engine is good. I've been talking a lot about Engine. If you look at NFT and collectibles here, you can see that anything that's associated with NFTs right now, even lightly associated, is doing very well. Theta is up 45%. Engine is up 164%. So they actually retraced a little bit yesterday to like $1.10. I thought that was a pretty good pickup. And they come up 20% today. Flow I covered. I think they're fantastic. They're going to go a lot higher. Chili's is not really a DeFi play. I mean, NFT play, but they are. So they're in there also. Decentralized. Decentraland, Wax. I think Wax is very undervalued right now, being only at 192 million. Origin Protocol, Sandbox, and Red Fox Labs. I mean, there's a lot that's in here that's pretty good. Pretty good. Decentraland is just like a virtual world, like Second Life, if those of you guys that remember it. Second Life is just about creating a virtual world. You can own property, you can own things. Decentraland is basically the same thing. It's like a decentralized version of that. And you can own land, you can own items, you can own things, right? So it's kind of like that. Terra Luna. Terra is awesome. I love Terra. It's one of those that doesn't get a lot of attention, but it keeps slowly creeping up. This morning I saw it was at $8 already. I'm like, man, I got into Terra. I think I mentioned it to you guys or to Patreon. I think I talked about them at like $2. And that was only like a month ago. They have been on fire. So Terra is doing a lot of things created by the South Korean retail people that have a lot of traction already. They have a very popular app in South Korea, and they create a lot of apps. And they create stable coins based on different currencies. So, yeah. Gaseous Clay, huge dump of BTC now. What huge dump? When you say huge, it better be like 1,000-point drop, and it's not. It's like 200 points, so cool it. A huge drop for Bitcoin has to be at least 1,000. Even 1,000 is not too much. I mean, just remember we are at 47,000 a day ago, so it's up like 4,000. So even this is not really a huge pump. So calm down. You should really check out Cody. Many things coming. Ada Pay, Apple Pay. I have a feeling Apple Pay is not one of them. I think that's just rumorville. If Apple Pay was really involved with them, they would be like 10 times higher. Good idea to switch from ADA to ETH right now. It's never a good idea to switch on the fly like that, because even though ADA has been stagnant as of late, Ethereum has picked up the last couple days. It could be in one situation. As soon as you switch to Ethereum, Cardano starts moving. I say right now, just be diversified. Maybe sell off half, and then keep half. That way you don't miss out. A lot of people that tend to change from one to another all the time end up losing more than had they just held. And that's honest truth. It happens to everyone. It happens to me. Sometimes you jump in, do the FOMO or something, and then you realize it doesn't move or it goes down, and the project that you sold just starts to keep going up. So you don't want to make too many trades like that. Right now, I think it's fine to be diversified. There's no set rule in terms of how many altcoins you can hold. You can hold 5, you can hold 1, you can hold 50. As long as the 50 are good ones, right? Being diversified is fine, but I would still stress that at least keep 50% in Bitcoin, at least. Myself, I'm more like 65% Bitcoin. I think it's good to be diversified, but I know a lot of people, it's like 90% alts and 10% Bitcoin. That's risking too much, right? So I don't think you should do that. Man, maybe some other stream just ended. Now there's 4,200 people watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you guys caught. I think a lot of you guys didn't catch it, but the whole point of today's stream is about Ethereum, how you don't want to overlook it. It's a sleeping giant. As big as it is, there's a lot of things going for it. A lot of things. So if you didn't catch it, scroll back, rewind, because I think I present some pretty good cases why you don't want to sleep on Ethereum. Crypto, Yerrick, I'm Australian. Thank you. Have you seen Yield app? I actually just did a sponsor segment on Yield app just a few days ago. So they actually look pretty good. Oh, wow. They're up 43%. Wow. Pretty amazing. But Yield app looks pretty good because they have good backers. They have good funding. They provide a lot of staking. and staking rewards. They don't do lending, so they're a little bit different. But they're like a financial app, and unfortunately, I hear they're not open to U.S. residents. But for those of you guys that's not in the U.S., Yield app actually looks pretty good. So yeah. Thoughts on Nano and Zilliqa? Nano, I don't know. It's good. It's just not very exciting. Zilliqa is also good. I just don't know much about it yet. I mean, not yet. I don't know much about news that's coming up, I guess. I know they're doing some stuff with, there's going to be an upgrade. There's a new mainnet coming out. New stuff like native tokens will be coming out. I don't know what else there is, but I know they have some stuff going on. I haven't paid attention to Zilliqa a lot recently. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to get some lunch, give you guys your day back. But yeah, overall, today is a pretty good day. I think for Bitcoin, this 51,000 mark is the one that we need to watch. If it breaks through, I think if it could break through and hold, I should say, because there's been times where it broke through, but it couldn't hold, right? Even this morning it broke through, it couldn't hold. So I think we need to watch that 51,000 mark. If it could break through and hold and utilize it as support, that means we're on our way up to 58,000 again and beyond. And I think this coming week will be very good, right? With the stimulus package, done, and F2 pool outflow being very, very small now. I think the combination is tremendous for Bitcoin and for everything else, right? But today's video was all about Ethereum. For those of you guys that are Ethereum fans or previous fans of Ethereum that has moved out, I would say don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on it. There's a lot more room to grow. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you tune in tonight, 8:30 Central Standard Time for my live stream. All right? Take care, guys. Bye-bye.